For Kabul Express, I think they were difficult times when we were shooting for it.
This Mujahideen came and we started saying, Hindustan, we're from Hindustan. He started singing a song. He sang Mere Sapno Ki Rani. They are crazy about our films.
100 years of cinema, what is your take as a
magical figure that all of us get? An
100 crores and 100
crore club also becoming a point of hype along with our 100 years. And at the end of the day, you can have a Tom Cruise film releasing, but you know, if Shah Khan or Salman or Aamir is releasing, Tom Cruise is going to stay away from releasing on that same week.
I think you've done some very interesting work as far as Afghanistan is concerned, and which must have been very risky as well.
Yeah.
Tell us about that experience. How tough was it, and even for Kabul Express, I think they were difficult times when we were shooting for it.
Yeah. Well, you know, obviously when you're shooting, especially when the war is on and you're stepping into a place like Afghanistan, there are dangers that you face. And you know, in Kabul Express, the way John and Arshad land up in Kabul is exactly the way me and my friend Rajan landed up in Kabul. Literally jumped off a helicopter, onto the mountains outside Kabul, and didn't know sort of which side is Kabul until a Mujahideen came and put us on top of a tank and drove us into Kabul. So the dangers are there because the bombing.
And you actually told them about Amitabh Bachchan and Aamir Khan.
Actually it's very strange, Faridoon. In Kabul Express, the scene is that we land, that John and Arshad have landed, and this Mujahideen comes up to them, and the moment they say Hindustan, Hindustan, he says, Amitabh Bachchan, and they form this bond. In my case, when Rajan and I jumped onto that mountain from the helicopter, this Mujahideen came, who was probably 6 feet 3 inches by 3 feet, and very menacing looking, and we started saying, Hindustan, we're from Hindustan, and he started singing a song. He sang Mere Sapno Ki Rani.
Okay.
And when I first wrote that scene, I wrote it as it happened to me, and some of my friends read it and they said, what a ridiculous scene this is. I said, why? They said, it just sounds so illogical and it can never happen. But I said, this is the way it happened with me. Okay. They said, no, it'll never fly with the audience. So it's just one of those cases.
I think that works.
Fact is even stranger than
brings in a bit of a humor element into the entire situation.
So then at that time I mellowed it down and made it into, him talking about Amitabh Bachchan. But they are crazy about our films, and that's something which is constant all the time.
You also, as you said, that your understanding of the political situation in the various part of the country and various part of the world as well. How do you deal with that situation, considering that you're a Muslim yourself, and when you must have shot in Afghanistan, even for the documentary, even for the film, how is it that you deal with it in terms of that? How can you be so how will you be objective about it? You're not being maybe a bit biased about it or partisan about it.
I'll tell you honestly, Faridoon, there is no such thing as objective filmmaking. So I have long ago gotten rid of that burden for myself. I try and present whatever I present in my films in a sort of non-biased way, in a certain sort of a way where it's balanced by a countering perspective also. But to say that it's totally objective, I think is rubbish, because we all have certain inbuilt prejudices, biases, and if not biases, a certain perspective on issues, right? And that will always come out as a filmmaker. And in features, I think it should also come out. I have a certain ideological stand on issues, and that should come out in my films. So I don't really go for trying to be very objective about things. I will try and show a counterpoint. I will try and present a sort of contradictory perspective from another angle. But at the end of the day, if I'm making a film, it will always reflect my perspective.
100 years of cinema, what is your take as such? How has Indian cinema they have made a progress, and are they really making an impact as far as the world context is concerned?
I think, yeah, of course. I mean, it's a great time to be, making films when our industry has, completed 100 years. It just, feels nice. I think 100 is a magical figure that all of us get. And
100 crores and 100
crore club also becoming a point of hype along with our 100 years of the industry. But yeah, I think, in these past 100 years, definitely Bollywood, for the lack of any better term, since we've begun to all accept that term, has, made an impact all over the world. It is definitely recognized as an industry which is a very powerful industry, thanks to the fact that our audiences support us in such a big way. No other industry, I mean Hollywood is not really being able to make a dent in our market because of the strength of our own films. So yes,
they are making off late.
Yeah, we have seen big films coming in, getting a good market in India, but they're still not in any way threatening our industry.
Right. And it's mostly when it's dubbed in Hindi.
Only when it's dubbed in Hindi. That's true. And at the end of the day, you can have a Tom Cruise film releasing, but you know, if Shah Rukh Khan or a Salman or a Aamir is releasing, Tom Cruise is going to stay away from releasing on that same week. So it is a very strong, vibrant industry which is very self-sufficient, very strongly supported by our audiences, and is today, I think, being recognized all over the world. I mean, today we are in Japan, you know, with 30 prints of Ek Tha Tiger releasing. We wouldn't have imagined this even 4-5 years ago, like something like this would have happened, because yes, sometimes we used to go into non-traditional markets and release 1 print or 2 prints, but this is a mainstream release being done by the largest distributor of Japan, with the kind of publicity that you've witnessed yourself. Yesterday I spent the whole day doing about 16 interviews with TV channels and their mainstream newspapers. So it means that in some way they are trying to explore and accept our films, and they're testing the markets with them.